Alright, and I'm back. Alright, I think this is going well. I think our next section is you know what actually really helps here is there's going to be a space right here for the bartender, the innkeeper. And then maybe over the bulletin board we'll put the name of the inn. Sorry. My allergies are kicking my butt. Alright, so we're going to work on these table lines now. So we need 3 tables. We already have... Alright, so since we only need 3 tables, we have a line here. The rest of the lines can be moved. So let's grab this. There are a few... Control Z that. There's a few. Apply the transformation, cancel the transformation. A few of these. Dang it! Control Z. Can I get rid of that? I don't want to move the image around. I think there's an easier way to do this, but I don't want to mess it up. I'm already messing it up. So I think you can hold it and click delete or backspace. Like yesterday when I left, when I ended stream, I wasn't too, see? I wasn't super ecstatic about the way this looked. I was really not happy with the perspective. I want to get the perspective right because people are not that good. I'm not that good at people either. I have a lot of work to do on all of my art. And if I can at least get the, I feel like that's very technical, which is something that I can do. It's all very, I guess there's all really technicalities to everything, technical sides to it all, to all of drawing. Where's that? I don't know if I accidentally moved something there. And if I can at least get the location of everything down, everything, the details and everything will fit. And I think putting those colors in was probably a bad start, but I kind of wanted to build the scene to see how I wanted it, and I think that was the best way to do it. Now I can go here through it and take out the stuff that I take out all the, where that can go, take out all the, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't need this. Oh, I do need that. Actually, I don't know right now. Take out Oh yeah, like we minimized the bookshelf, which added room for the innkeeper. We extended this door, or this wall, which gives room for the innkeeper, which also, I shouldn't be creating shortcuts, but that cuts the length down on this here, which I wanted shelves down under here, which is going to make it easier for me to control this. Otherwise the lines would have been really long there, and there probably wouldn't have been much detail here anyway. We widened this door, shrunk this bulletin board, and then we realized that these tables weren't lined up, so we're going to line those up. We can, which since we're already moving stuff, we can move this table over, move it over to the right. Bringing this down is probably going to cut out a person, and which will save me some facial drawing. And like I said, I don't want to create shortcuts, but I want it to look right. And the main points are: is it supposed to come off as an inn or like a tavern type thing? I want these guys down here to be looking like they're playing Dungeons and Dragons. And then I need a scribe to be sitting here. I want some light source here. I think I'm going to put a candle or two on their table, a candle on this table, maybe no candle on this table actually, because the orbs around scribe will, his little fairy orbs will light up his section the way that he needs it to be lit up. And then maybe put in some, I might even hang a lantern off of the edges of these or something for lighting. So that's like more detail stuff. There's no windows, like you don't see any windows, right? So from this angle you don't. I'm actually thinking that if I move this table down, it's going to cut off that whole side. So maybe pulling it left instead of pushing it down is going to be better. I mean, it's going to come down anyway, but pulling it left will allow me to still keep the table there. And I don't think I can extend these tables down much further, because then it's going to cut scribe out of the picture. I could move him. Maybe have him standing at the bar with talking to the innkeeper. But I guess that's a good way, because he's going to be wearing not a cape, a cloak. So, which I'm going to be honest is a workaround for my lack of skill. But I think it's a good idea. I think it's an interesting idea, and like I want to be able to play with other mechanics in art. Like, I don't want facial to be the only expression of emotion. Obviously, body language is one way to do that. Body language. I wanted to try colors. What else is there? Oh, jeez. Yeah, posture, I guess, that's body language. Facial, there's facial. I think that's a good way. That's like, those are three different different jeez, why am I kind of took a nap. I hate taking naps. It's a pain. It's just something I don't like doing. But I took a nap. I think that's messed with my thought process here. So what I was talking about before is, oh yeah, those are different ways to express emotion. I'm sure there's more ways, but I would like, I guess color and body language is one way. My faces aren't that good. I've not really did much for digital painting faces, but drawing faces is not so good. I've been working on that a lot. I have lots of pages in my sketchbooks trying to figure that out. Poses, I've gotten better with. I do a lot of stick figure poses, which helps. I definitely need work with my anatomy. I need a lot of work on my art, and I need to, like, this is a good project to help me kind of work with that stuff, but in like other stuff that I need to be working on too is I've thought about like creating my own curriculum and just working through each of those to come up with a good way for me to learn stuff. Let's see, yeah, you can tell that these benches were made for Alright, we're going to move the bench over. Yeah, this is actually pretty good because what's going to happen is I'm going to move that table over, and we're going to have Scribe standing up at the bar instead of down here, yeah, at the bar, instead of sitting here with his back. So basically he may be over here doing something with the innkeeper and overhears them talking about this legend, and that's going to be the beginning of it all. And what is this? Well, that's the separation there. We need vertical for the leg. I think drawing them directly across is a good idea, and then erasing where I don't need them is going to work. Yeah, so I need to figure out a curriculum. I know that Drawbox.com, like I've mentioned this before, is one thing that I've been that I was working on and I kind of stopped. So I should probably just pick that back up while I work on this and work on that for a couple hours, maybe even work on that for a couple hours before I do this. But I kind of just want to work on this, but if I just work on this, I don't think I'm ever going to get better. I don't think it's going to just provide me with a... I don't have enough... enough people to critique my stuff and give me valuable input. And, one thing I've always liked about school was it was structured, and that way I can take notes and I can process that information in a structured way. And I think by me doing this stuff, like me drawing and digitally painting, kind of I'm more free to mess around, and I don't want to do that. I want to really get focused on what I'm supposed to be doing. Alright, so this is for the table. And if that's for the table, so we'll come to here. I've taken a quiet, I don't want to say, let's see, I did some art in, I gotta come down this way, I think I've taken an art class in my 7th grade year, which was in my middle school. It was every elective was a, we're moving that table over. Let's see. Every elective was a, let's see, I want the table to be, we're going to say here, was a quarter. So we spent 3 months doing that class. And then this is going to be for the bench down here. So I did a quarter of art in 7th and 8th grade. And then once I got into high school, electives became a, let's see, I think right here is where I wanted this. This table probably could be a little wider to the left. And then I think my 9th grade year, let's see, I'm trying to think of what I did. I think in one of those years you're required to take like fine arts, which is basically just a bunch of different art stuff. And that was okay. It was okay. These are the legs, which are going to get pushed over by me widening this. It's alright, we'll get to that. Actually, we'll just erase it. We'll get to the legs later. The finer details. So I can't remember if that was 9th or 10th grade that I needed to do that. And then I took a drawing class too. So maybe I think I took a normal art class, a sketching class, which I have a sketchbook around here somewhere that I'm trying to find, because I want to see what my sketches looked like before. I think I spent a lot more time drawing, like anime. And she wanted me to do a lot more life drawing stuff, which I think I wish I would have done. Alright, so let me see. That's a table. That's a table. I think this could even go over a little more. So I've taken, let's see, if I took, right there. So my 7th grade year was a fine arts class where it's just a mix of art stuff, right? You do a little bit of this, you do a little bit of that. Do some painting, some drawing, and then my 8th grade year was more focused on drawing. I remember doing a lot of perspective in that class. And then in my, what is this line? Oh, I think that's for the bench. In my so let's see, that's a quarter and a quarter, so that's half a year. But a quarter of that is of random stuff with a little bit of drawing. So you probably do like 2 weeks of drawing. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. No, how many weeks? Yeah, there's 12 weeks, so you probably spend 2 weeks on a certain area. So, and then I took a quarter of drawing, so that's probably 6 weeks of drawing there. No, that's not right. 12 and 2, 14 weeks. And then I did a semester of random stuff, which was probably, maybe not, probably about another 3 weeks. Maybe that might have been 4, so we'll say a month. So that puts me at 14, that puts me at 18. 18 weeks of drawing. 18, and then another semester, which is, that's not 6 months. Was it? No way. I think quarters are shorter than that. I'm just gonna go to school for 12 months. I'm going for 10. So it's like 2.5. So 5 months on top of 2 months. 7. I'm going to say that's about 8 months, 9 months of drawing classes. So maybe a full year in my whole entire life. Which is more than some. But absolutely could have done a lot more. I really think that I need some structure, but I don't have. I like how that's like that. I almost feel like I should do this and then come upward to make it seem like there's an edge there that needs to go in a little more. Right there, just a small little edge. This is a small detail that I don't need to be working on right now. I just don't have the money to pay to do that right now. Do I want to go that far or this far? I think going this far is better. This could probably have came down just a little more. Let's go ahead and Control Z what I'm working on right there. Alright. I'm going to grab this. Remove it to here. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, but I don't know if I could pay for that anymore. So there's a huge thing that with school, like they teach you the structure. One thing though is it's exposure to information that you normally wouldn't have. And I think that I can find that information. I think I'm really good at doing that, about finding information. And then I think I just need to be better at turning that into like project type stuff. So project management, kind of. What happened there? Did I make that bigger on accident or something? I'm going to go ahead and Control Z that. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I may have changed my brush. I don't know. Cool. So those things are looking pretty good. Dang, there's too bad there's not an angle guide. That would be perfect. Well, technically, there is. It's the pen tool. The infamous pen tool. What is this? That's not what I want. And then we right click that and we stroke path with the brush that we're using, with the color that we're using. Boom. And then we backspace it. Backspace it again. That's not too bad. These are a little off, I think. This one's a little, definitely too. This one could go this way a little more, which will pull that out slightly. That's with the wrong brown, I think. This one's not that bad. Neither is this one. Like I can do these ones. These are short. And that's just wrist movement and finger movement. This one seems okay. This one doesn't. Why does this seem off? That way, that way, that way, that way. This one is off. This one needs to be upward more, maybe. Pen tool will have to work for this. Whoops, backspace that one. We're going to connect it to here, all the way back to here. Have to be a little more this way too. So we're just going to go ahead and stroke that. Stroke path. If I only knew where that vanishing point was. This is going to have to be redone. This one too. Just to coincide with that angle. Because that's the main angle right there. This one too. And what I should do is, dang, if I Control Z that. Oh, dang it. Okay, fine. Go ahead and add that to a new layer. Then let's stroke it. Stroke path. Cancel that. Pen or brush tool. We need that brown. Right click. Pen tool. Stroke path. Brush. Then what we want to do is duplicate this layer. Duplicate the layer. And we're going to get rid of the pen tool. We're going to move it, this layer. And we're just going to slide it over. You know what? I can keep this same angle and use it. Wow, that's a pretty good angle there. Oof. This one might be off. Yeah, that one. It's close. That one might be off. That's close. How'd that one look? Yeah, they're close enough. Okay. Aha! Alright. This is a good cheat. We're going to duplicate this layer again. This one right here. Duplicate the layer. We're going to call it angle. Angle. It's even different. So we're going to move that to the top. And then we're going to move back to layer copy 1. And bring it back. The problem is, right, is they're all going back to the same angle, right? But ideally what they would be doing is they'd be shrinking because they're going back to the same vanishing point, but everything isn't. So everything would be at just a slightly different angle, right? So like this way. So this one would be like at a 45, and this would be at like a 55, and then this would be at like a 60, and then the 90 would be the line. I guess maybe, I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to figure that out. So. I may look up a way to determine perspective, but for now I think this is okay. It gives off the necessary idea of what things look like. Is that how much I want that to be? We're good right there. Then we're going to use this angle. We're going to slide it here. See that? So what we want to do is go to adjustments, get the brush, erase what's here. use that angle to give me what I want. Yep, just like that. Same. Move tool. Same thing here. How do I redo a thing? Shift Control. Go back to adjustment. We need to get to the B. Erase. If I erase something I didn't need to, we'll Control Z that. Control Z that. Control Z that. And then we'll along that, giving me the desired look that I want. And then we'll go back to the angle there. I think this is probably M, but we're gonna just V. So right next to the B. And we're just going to move that over. That straight line needs to be moved, actually. That was slightly off, but I think it could be it's alright, I think. Alright. So this is a good point for us to use for the tables. What's going on here? Does it really cut off like that? I guess if you keep the same angle from all of them, that's what's going to happen. I think I'm going to end the stream right here. I think I have some research to look into. I think I need to look into perspective in Photoshop if there's a way for me to get the vanishing point off of the screen so that I can draw lines to it. Even if it's me purchasing that item, I think that's going to help me significantly. I just can't get the look that I'm looking for this way. I think this is a good thing. If this is the way I have to do it, then I'll do it this way. But I think that it can be better, and I want it to be better, and if I need to use a different tool, then I want to understand how to use that tool in the process. I want to learn that tool while I'm doing it. Like, this is part of the project, is learning the things as I go along and finding things that I need to research in steps. So I think that there's going to be a lot of that where I get into a painting and like right now we're just laying it out, sketching it out. First we sketched it out, now we're laying it out in the perspective. Like if there's a tool that's going to help me perspectively, then I think I need to use that. And then the painting stuff will come a lot easier. Like, I'll understand maybe shadows better and stuff like that. So I think I'm going to end the stream here and maybe do some research on perspectives, how to do perspective in the in Photoshop. So I think that's my next, I guess, my next lesson for now. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you stopped by, I don't think anybody did, but we're not worried about that. This is documenting my Secret of the Legends series. We are working on Legends of the Keeper, the first legend in the series. And we're working on the first scene, which is in the beginning. In, as in, this is an inn, and it pays homage to Dungeons and Dragons, the beginning of the campaign. And yeah, so thanks for stopping by and watching Secret of the Legends. If you're watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. Please leave comments. Give me criticism. I need criticism. I need help learning. So just, yeah, go ahead and... I already saved. Good. Yeah, thanks. Goodbye.